As the number of COVID cases continues to decline, we wanted to know if the public was at risk as a result of outbreaks that occurred in local businesses. Cal OSHA requires businesses to report their outbreaks to the county health department, so I looked into the numbers. Working with the First Amendment Coalition, I made an official public records request to San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties for all of the outbreaks and number of cases reported in businesses. SLO County provided KSBY with a list of outbreaks dated from December 8th of 2020 to April 12th of 2021. Businesses were required to report outbreaks beginning in December. The list contains the names of businesses that reported at least 3 cases over a 2-week period. During that time, there were 145 separate outbreaks in the county. We wanted to know if access to the information would have changed shoppers' habits, and more importantly, if the public was at risk.
Yeah, I definitely think businesses should fill people in if there's an outbreak at a store.
I think that'd be a great thing from the report. It'd be a lot safer if we all knew where to shop and what's safe to go to, and hopefully where to avoid the outbreaks.
We crunched the numbers, and one business stood out from the rest. Costco in San Luis Obispo reported 15 outbreaks with a total of 91 cases during the 4-month period, significantly higher than any other business. Number 2 was Madonna Inn with 5 outbreaks and 25 total cases. We asked Deputy Health Director Dr. Rick Rosen if he was concerned about the number of cases at Costco and if there was a risk to the public.
But really, we did not see a lot of, or any really that I am aware of or can think of John and Sally went to Costco and on Friday they tested positive for COVID.
Rosen says the outbreaks at local businesses, and especially at Costco, were not any different from the outbreaks happening elsewhere.
I felt like Costco was a good reflection of what the community at large looked like. So as we were surging, they had their largest outbreak. And as things sort of tapered off, they tapered off.
And it is interesting that the surge happened at the same time. Were they perhaps a source of outbreaks, or were they a reflection of the outbreaks that were happening in the outside community coming in?
Right. And that was also our concern because people passed through there. That did not come up in the course of our contact tracing efforts.
But why wasn't the public alerted to the outbreaks? And what did health officials do with the data?
We just monitored those outbreaks, and if we saw numbers adding up or a pattern of repeated outbreaks, then we would reach out to those businesses and work with them to see if there was anything they could do in the way of mitigation.
Shoppers say it would have been nice to see where outbreaks were happening.
This is hard for everyone right now. My mom owns a small business, so I totally understand, the struggle of being open. But I think that it's a black or white type situation. If you have data that can help people, then you need to share it.
Rosen insists the public was never in danger. Do you think it's safe for our viewers to go to Costco at this point in time? Or
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It is. I was just there a couple weeks ago. Yes, I would say it is safe. I would say it is safe to go to Costco. There haven't been cases for several weeks.
We called and emailed Costco several times over the last week, but have not received a response. We also reached out to the union representing Costco employees, but they declined to comment. Now, we also asked for that same data from Santa Barbara County. Officials did agree to release the data to us, but so far have not provided it.